Well, I believe in any effort, certainly we all can do better. Certainly the government can do better. But so far, I believe, it's being managed to the capabilities of what Ghana can actually do. Because I believe Ghana is now well equipped in terms of emergency responders. The hospital that has been built is actually helping. I believe the nurses are also doing very well. The frontline workers, the doctors, must be applauded. The suggestion from international quarters, as we know it, was very dire that in Africa you were going to see really some deaths on the streets. That hasn't happened. So clearly, if it's by God or by our location or by weather, we are grateful. But certainly we must give the leaders the boldness, to be able to stand firm to tackle this menace. We've seen what is happening around the world. It's certainly not pleasant. I don't think Ghana we've seen that magnitude of death yet. So clearly we all need to be mindful of that and be cautious and pay attention to the protocols. Well, I am an advocate of homegrown solutions. We cannot take what is being given to us and accept it without verifying. We can trust, as has been said, I believe some president in America, Ronald Reagan, trust, but we must verify. We could have empowered our scientists, our researchers, to be the forefront to actually confirm the veracity of the vaccines that are being pushed onto our grounds here. I'm not saying they are wrong. Certainly, those companies like Pfizer, Moderna, and those lines, they may have the capacity and the equipment and the financing to do so. But it must be done in collaboration with our researchers and our professors, those who are actually capable of actually verifying for the masses of this country. Let's not forget that we have our own sort of solutions. Africa, we have very good researchers. We have very good plants that are healing. Our environment in itself is healing. We all know that the sun actually cures a lot of ailments. So yes, I am an advocate for homegrown solutions. But yes, we live in a global world, a global village. Therefore, collaboration is always good. We may probably have come up with the solutions for the Western world. Now, it just so happened that everything happened after the elections, the December elections.
Yes.
Now it's a new year, and somehow is it panic driven so that the vaccine industry can get their way? Those are the questions we must ask. You understand? Because again, until we prove that the vaccine is actually a cure, we shouldn't rest by questioning some of these researchers and question. I think we all will agree with me that there's been so much debate, even in the medical field, within the vaccine industry itself. So yes, Ghana, we are not equipped in terms of the manufacturing and the vaccine researchers. This is why I am a proponent of homegrown solutions and empowering our scientists to be able to actually stand firm to provide what we think is best for us. Maybe our DNA is different from the European DNA that might be susceptible to the virus. Have we looked at that yet? So we must question authority and question some of these researchers. Would I say I doubt? I will reserve my comment, but in several medical journals that I've read and the report coming from around the world, it would have been better if it was labeled experimental vaccine, because they still don't know the final solutions yet. They still don't have a cure, so to speak. So a vaccine is what? A preventative measure. Is it going to cure? We don't know. So yes, we must proceed with caution. We must proceed with caution. There has been several instances where people have had side effects dire side effects. So we shouldn't take it for granted. We must, again, trust but verify. I will hope their reason for it is for the fact that more children are dying of the COVID or being infected by the COVID, which we don't see it that way yet. Why don't they close the Makala market then? If the aged or the aged, the elderly are the ones who are dying or susceptible to the virus, why do they go close the markets? The Makala markets, where we see women out there in close proximity, selling in open field and or they're interacting with each other. Most of them are not even masked. See, why don't we close those areas? Why don't you close the lorry stations? Why don't you close where people congregate more? Why don't you close Nima, the whole township? You see, so let's verify some of these issues. I'm not being a skeptic, but I'm a pragmatist, as I said. We must pay attention to details in some of these issues. We should not and we cannot accept just anything being thrown to us. We all must be careful because death is final. Nobody, I believe, wishes to die, and therefore we must pay attention, follow the protocols. If for no reason at all, at least you tried. You've tried. So please, everybody listening to me, pay attention to the protocols. You can go the extra mile and do your own precautionary measures, but at least the basic protocols that the government has sanctions, we must all follow. I believe it's an international WHO type protocols that we're all following. Yes, it's a good thing. We all should do so. Well, that actually is quite disappointing. I must say, the least is quite disappointing because elections must be fair, transparent. We find that in this country, there seems to be some malpractices in the election management, which I believe I have made comments on previously. I supported, or I do support the NDC for going to court because, after all, that is the only way we can learn from the mistakes that transpired during the election process. If they are not allowed to get the information to come out openly so that we can do a comparative analysis to know where the mistakes are, how are we going to learn from it? So I believe the Supreme Court was wrong for not allowing the interrogation to go forward. But I'll also blame the NDC for not presenting an ironclad sort of grievance, so to speak. I think allegedly we all know, or we've been privy to the fact that there were more votes than the registered voters in the Ashanti region. I think they could have focused on that specifically to be able to prove their case. The voter region, some areas were not allowed to vote. They were disenfranchised in participating in this year's election, which is wrong. Wrong. There were certain areas, pockets, like Techiman, for example, where the results are still, being questioned. We should have at least allowed those places to be, resolved so that people could have been at least been satisfied. For nothing at all, those areas could have been at least resolved amicably. So this is what I say. It's unfortunate that the Supreme Court appears to be siding with the EC. They're supposed to be a referee, a neutral referee, but they seem to be, playing on one side. Regardless, they were accused. They must actually have their time in responding to the accusations. For nothing at all. That's basic. That's basic. I understand in law, he who accuses must prove. But yes, they've been accused. Therefore, they can also come out and rebut. Rebutting means show the evidence. After all, in the EC's own document, it says citizens are allowed to request those details transparently to review to their satisfaction. So what are they trying to hide? What is wrong if NDC comes out and say, okay, they want to verify the voting or the voters register or whatever, or the ballot, or the pink sheets for that matter? What is so wrong about it? That creates the suspicion of cover-up, allegedly cover-up what it is being done. So at least people of Ghana must demand transparency. If we are going to survive in the democratic elections, the citizens must demand for our democracy to grow.